Dominated the match. She was winning 13-2 when she pinned the girl. And then I guess I struggle to understand this, but she came off the mat and she was so upset with how she wrestled. I probably made a mistake as a coach telling her that was a first-year wrestler and that maybe it wasn't going to be that hard of a match. But anyway, she dominated the match. She comes off the mat, she's upset because she didn't compete the way she wanted to. She's worried that if she wrestles that bad against some of the better girls in the state, that she's not going to be able to compete. I don't even know how to react to it, but I do understand it because she's always been on top of whatever she does. When things don't go quite right, sometimes she overreacts the opposite direction.
There's a lot that goes in your head. You're like, wow, I really suck. I mean, I always think that, but I can't necessarily say that because people get mad at me. They're like, you don't suck. And I'm like, well, I think I do. I don't really, I mean, I can't not, I'm not gonna lie to myself about that.
So with that, first or you go? Okay. Hey, I want to make something very clear about wrestling. Which, as you know, wrestling is a combat sport. There's two people. There's you, and there's your opponent. Your opponent may do some weird things. Your opponent may be hard to deal with for some reason. There might be something that they do that frustrates you. A lot of your wins in wrestling may be ugly. You need to learn to be okay with that. Sometimes you're going to get out there and you're not going to be able to do exactly what it is you want to do. You got to figure it out. Okay? If you have a bunch of ugly wins and you stack them together in a tournament, that makes you a champion. Okay? So sometimes you just got to figure it out. And we had a bunch of those where our opponent was doing something weird. Right? They were tying up weird, or we couldn't get to our tie. You just got to figure it out, and that's okay.
So Jason's role in our program is it's not a head coach, assistant coach situation. It's partners. He has different strengths. I have different strengths. I have definitely different weaknesses than Jason. So we've honestly become very good friends, and we throw a lot of things by each other, not necessarily wrestling related. So coaching with Jason it's been awesome.
They're like boyfriends. They'll like call each other and talk about practice and what happened to practice, or if one of them isn't there, they'll fill them in on everything that happened at practice.
I've known Coach Shepard for a while. Kind of comes with Tatum. Since I started wrestling, I've known them. Definitely been there for me throughout my wrestling career.
He was the first coach I met because I'd been to Tatum's house. He's really helpful. And like, no matter who you are, like if you don't understand, he'll be like, oh, you just like grab, like, I don't know what to describe.
How did you start wrestling?
I was at the Shepard's, like Coach Shepard's house watching football, and he's like, you should come to open gym or open mat on Sunday.
I didn't ever think Danny Crone was ever going to be a wrestler. When I saw her come in the room, the first day I ever saw her, and I was just like, wait, Danny, you're putting on wrestling shoes on right now, like, you're going out for wrestling. And she was just like, yeah, I'm gonna try it out. I'm just like, all right.
I think I won like 2 matches, if that, and then lost the rest. I only wrestled one guy last season and lost, so.
He was a new wrestler, and there's a lot of us that are more experienced. So I feel like she had put more pressure on herself than needed.
1, 2, 3.
Family!
We're running out of time.
What am I doing?
we have a tendency to be really hard on ourselves. Right?
You want to know why?
I know you are very restless, and I don't want you to start. But we have to learn that it's okay to win ugly. All right. I don't know how to tell. I don't know how to react to someone that comes off the mat after winning 13-2 and pinning somebody and telling me how bad they suck. That's almost really degrading to your opponent, if you think about it.
No, it was her first year and she was like.
She's undefeated also this year. She's also, that was her first loss of the year.
Really strong.
She's very strong. Her brother was a multi-time policeman. She comes from a wrestling background. It's not that she's never wrestled before. She's never wrestled for a team before. So, oh well.
I thought you were telling me that she said.
And I'll stop telling you.
Like,
I'm just gonna stop telling you who you wrestle. You need to go wrestle. We gotta find our confidence back. Because both of you two and Joe, I never know what the hell's coming out of Joe. We gotta find confidence somehow. And because there's no reason not to. When you went all over the country this year beating the crap out of girls. You can beat the girls in Iowa. That's not a problem. You don't believe it though. No more negative talk. Negative talk ends with negative thoughts. Negative thoughts is bad for our confidence.
I say you punish us.
I will punish you. If I hear,
Shut up,
if I hear negatives,
maybe
we're
it'll
gonna-
make me try.
Okay, maybe punish.
Not trying.
Yeah.
No, Taylor, you are the worst.
You're the worst negative talker I've ever been around. And you gotta realize that not everything is gonna be perfect scripted wins.
Oh yeah, last year I didn't even fight. So
Exactly. So
See, negative talk right there, Punisher. What? Push ups.
you did push-ups. Yes, you can. I watched you do push-ups. I know. You're lying to me for a season. My God, you guys are some of the best wrestlers in the state. No, I did not. So just let's go. What'd she say? Let's go come home with 3 state championships, all right? You got 15 days. 15 days. You guys are here. I sent it out on the right now. Ogden. Bus leaves from here at 5:45. We'll pick people up in Shaler at the school, probably about 6 o'clock. We'll pick up people at Casey's, probably about 6:10, 6:15-ish. Coach Shepard and Coach Newman will be taking you to Ogden.
Ogden is a tough tournament. With Ogden, we go east, and we draw a lot of those really good east wrestlers. And so you're probably going to learn some things as you're wrestling. That's what happens when you wrestle tough competition. But, just that doesn't mean you do anything exotic or new. You don't have to become a new wrestler. Everybody has what it takes if they wrestle within themselves and they focus on how they wrestle to do really well at both of those tournaments. So you don't go somewhere and the competition's higher, you reinvent yourself. You do what you do as well as you can, and that should be more than enough to be successful. Also keep in mind that whatever happens this weekend, that's not the end of the season. We've still got girls, you got 2 weeks from Ogden to Girls State. That's the time that really, that's crunch time. That's where we really try to make those big jumps. So we want you to worry about your next match always. Always worry about your next match. But just know that we have time to do the right things, prepare ourselves really matters.
The earliest we've ever got started with this. We have 168 girls in today's Girls Who Get to Hear of our tournament. When we started this 5 years ago, we had 11. So it's a great testament to all of you young ladies and your willingness to get after it. We're looking forward to a great day of wrestling.
All right, get yourself ready to go.
How much time do I have?
You're about 131. 131. very well. That was Iowa style. That was Iowa style wrestling. Nice job. After your match, stick around and watch the match after you. Okay, well, that would be more important.
I could see you doing the potty dance over my Travis. I'm like, Dad, what's you doing the potty dance? And you're like,
Where a lot of girls' big steps were technique-based and strategy-based, Izzy's was a lot of just sort of refining that mental dominance. You know, last year I think Izzy really wanted to win a state title, came up short, and at the beginning of the season it was very hard for her because she was coming off surgery. That surgery sort of limited her mobility a little bit and prevented her from feeling confident in her lefty single, which is a beautiful, beautiful shot. And so she had to find some other things. And so through the season, Izzy's challenge was to recover that confidence in a lot of what she does.
you can get beat now.
So at Ogden, Danny had a lot of good matches. She really did. I mean, she wrestled some very complete matches. She did a lot of good things. Started putting some chain wrestling together to where it wasn't just a move. It was maybe, finding a leg in neutral on a shot and then eventually figuring out how to step up and cut the corner and finish. Even before Ogden, she wrestled with a boy and went the distance with him. So even before Ogden, I think it had occurred to her, hey, I can do this. At Ogden, it happened quite a bit. Good job. Just lift that sucker as high as you can, and it'll unbalance her, and then you can just drive it across. Got it. Everything else is good. Nice match. That's awesome. Very good.
Like, one of my goals is to find this switch between being on the mat or before a match, when you're getting ready, and then getting on the mat and starting to wrestle. I'm not gonna be disappointed if I don't, because I know I'm not fantastic. This is a first year.
I think it's been nice to see Shania, especially in the later tournaments, that she seemed a little more aggressive, maybe looking to shoot that shot or throw a headlock.
She's kind of found a few things that work for her, and so you can see the confidence level gain and grow. That's so important in the girls.
Muscles take over. Nice job. Oh, you got corner.
I told her to go in there with a good attitude and not a bad one, and finish her stuff and be confident about it, because she's a very good wrestler.
And so going into that match, I'm wrestling Sophie Barnes of Council Bluffs Lewis Central. Sophie's a really good wrestler. She's very skilled. She was a Fargo All-American, placed second last year at Tatum's weight. Tatum wrestled her really well in the preseason, ended up pinning her. I think she was ahead most of that match as well.
Hey, right there, step Tatum. Right now, you gotta get on the floor. Tatum, step, Tatum.
But you gotta find hands. You gotta get hands. Get hands. Get
That
hands.
roll's not there, Tatum. You gotta find something else.
That was a pretty important match for the regular season for Tatum. Going into that match, it was going to be an interesting test of several things. One was how far Tatum and Sophie have come. Two, how would a wrestler who has wrestled Tatum adjust to wrestle her a second time? And then three, and this is maybe the most important thing, if Tatum was not successful, you know, if she lost that match, how would she react? Because to that point, Tatum had not reacted well to losses. She really took them hard, had trouble bouncing back, and so this was sort of going to be a moment, if Tatum didn't beat Sophie, of would she be able to kind of reset and emulate the type of behavior that we want to see at the state tournament.
She actually handled that loss very well because I think she knew she wrestled well.
This was a good match to have 2 weeks before state, because this is something we can dissect. It's gonna make you better, without question. I would, after having seen that, I'm glad we didn't wrestle her the next time at state. I'm proud of you. Good job, kid. I'm encouraged by those moments. As her father, I love the moments where I see her respond to things more as an adult rather than just being truly impulsive. I'm encouraged by that.
Is it right across from us?
Yeah, that's okay.
Have fun. We're friends. I'm not gonna get
And I was like hyped. I was like, oh my gosh, like I could get first. Like I'm gonna wrestle for first right now. I was really excited. Like, I know I only wrestled 2 because the one had a medical forfeit, but it's just like, oh my gosh, like you can do that. Like you really did that yourself. Wrestling is about learning to believe in yourself, but it's also about like pushing yourself, because like you get tired out there, but you have to like push and believe that like you're gonna make it through, and like, you know, whatever happens right now, I'll be okay.
That's what you want for your athletes. I mean, you want them to reach a point where they realize that through hard work and just being resilient, that they can find success that makes them feel like it was all worth it. I hesitate to say that because I also don't want athletes to ever think, well, if you work hard and you don't accomplish anything, or you don't accomplish your goals, it was a waste of time. That's absolutely not the case. I know in my own life there have been things I have accomplished and things I haven't, but I don't regret any of that hard work. It's always translated somehow in my life. It's all been worthwhile. And as you well know, wrestling's a frustrating sport. When you fail in wrestling, you fail spectacularly because you might end up dominated in some way, shape, or form, and that's not fun. And sometimes your goals don't work out. My coaching philosophy is to make sure that athletes are always
building towards confidence in what they do. I think it's pretty common for high school girls when they first come out to the sport to have a lot of self-doubt, and I can see some of that. My goal for Shania is to gain confidence so she realizes that she's capable of so much more. Not just in wrestling, but in life. I think she has a lot of talent, and I hope that one thing that she comes away with from wrestling, aside from maybe a whole bunch of pins, is to realize what she's capable of.